Welcome back, beautiful people, to TTA Pro Mr. O, back with a punctuation episode today. هنركز على 4.1, the period. Now, before I begin, and عايز أنصحكم بحاجة, it's a little shortcut تفهموها before we begin class, right? The semicolon, the period, the comma fanboys, التلاتة دولت زي بعض عامة. Keep this in mind when you're solving the questions. دولت يعني إيه هما زي بعض. You have to have أو لازم يبقى في independent idea قبليها و independent idea بعديها, and this applies لكل التلاتة punctuation items دولت, right? Independent, 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 independent. طبعا في فرق أو differences بسيطة جدا ما بينهم, which again هنتكلم عليها النهارده. However, this is the general rule. وبرضه don't forget the most important rule. احنا ممنوع نحط comma between two independent ideas. That can never work out. So let's jump into the notes. Right, let's begin right here. لو بتتفرجوا على الفيديو, watch the notes, then jump into the practice. Let me zoom in on the notes here. Here we go. Intermediate punctuation. Where's my magic pen? Oh, here it is, right? Objectives: identify correct period usage. And the period is the full stop, right? Like, didn't full stop. Identify incorrect period usage. In 4.0, we've taken the semicolon. The rules for the semicolon are very similar to the rules for the period. هما قريبين جدا أو زي بعض, almost بالظبط, right? So let's begin, beautiful people. Number one, use a period to separate two independent ideas. زي semicolon, periods are used to separate two independent ideas. Now, I want you, عايزين نشوف example that, right? Hippolyte Blanco, a pharmacist and amateur photographer, documented Parisian architecture leading up to the 1889 Universal or World's Fair. Yada, 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 yada. Lots of information here. أهم حاجة that I want you guys to see, أهم حاجة تشوفوها, we use a period between two independent ideas. ما فرقتش ideas دولت موجودين فين. طالما there's an independent idea قبليها, use an independent idea بعديها. الidea بالأخضر is independent, الأزرق independent. I think it's self-explanatory. Any questions here? Now, احنا قلنا كتير قوي واقول لكم كل مرة اما تشوفوا وشي هقول لكم كده. You can never use a comma between independent clauses. صح? One more time. عشان ما ننساش. You can never use a comma to separate two independent ideas. Like, let's continue. Rule number 2, periods appear outside in parentheses. So parenthetical element, then JP, right? The little parentheses there. The period comes outside the parentheses. Well, I form punctuation. Now, بصوا على example that, right? Hotel rooms are likely to be in short supply throughout August, parentheses, the peak travel period, right? بعدين هنا شايفين period, right? So عامة ممنوع نحط أي punctuation قبل parentheses, وممنوع يعني ما ينفعش نحط مثلا comma هنا or period or whatever, وبرضه بنحط punctuation بعديها. أيا كان برضه, is it a period, a comma, a semicolon, whatever, لو حطيت punctuation بيجي برا آخر parentheses. Periods are used with indirect questions, right? So there are two forms of questions. Direct, let's make it green, and indirect, let's make it blue. Right? So direct questions فيها in question mark. What time is it? صح? But indirect questions, a question that has a subject then a verb. I wonder what time it is. شوفوا الفرق بين دولت عشان ده السؤال بيجي, right? لو سؤال بيجي verb بعد كده subject. بس لو indirect question أو بيجي subject بعد كده verb. شايفين الفرق في الترتيب؟ So we use a period with the indirect question. In normal question بنستخدم إيه؟ بنستخدم semicolon. Wow! Oh my God, it's so easy. 4. A period can be used with a coordinating conjunction and with but. ده بقى بيلخبط الطلبة, and this is true, right? So احنا شفنا examples where fanboys ممكن ياخد الكاما, ممكن ياخد السيميكولون, وبرضه ممكن ياخد period. Here's a good example. When I went to the store, I bought a cartload of candy, right? Let me highlight that. Shaping a period, right there. But I really wasn't satisfied and wanted more. Now, this is correct, guys. By default, الديفولت بتاعتنا comma but comma and. بس لو الoptions دولت مش موجودين وعندي the option of a period, right? Period but, or زي هنا, right? This is your celebration, period. And this, comma, the Arab Republic of Egypt is your country. ممكن نحط period and. أنا بديك الrules دولت عشان ما حدش يقول لي هو ممنوع مش ممنوع. And دلوقتي we're in advanced writing. وin advanced writing, in advanced grammar فعلا ممكن أبدأ الجملة with a period or with and or with but. في المدرسة في grade 2 و grade 3 ممنوع. دلوقتي لا مش ممنوع. Next up, ممكن نستخدم period with a conjunctive adverb or transition. احنا اتكلمنا عن الموضوع ده مع semicolon. فاكرين conjunctive adverb or transition ولا لا؟ أكيد لا، صح؟ Let me make a nice beautiful yellow board this time. Oops, I didn't want to make that. I'll make a yellow board. Opa. ونعمل بقى black بقى. فاكرين transitions with conjunctive adverbs, right? Transition. ممكن يبقى however, moreover. Let me actually type this because my handwriting is trash. Nonetheless, moreover, in addition. I spelled that right? I hope so. Addition, whatever. What else was there? Notwithstanding. God. Anything else? في كتير يعني بس مفيش حاجة داخلة في دماغي right now. Furthermore, right? These are transitions. Will conjunctive adverbs, right? Those are مثلا بآخره ly, contrastingly, right? Luckily, unfortunately. So these are conjunctive adverbs. So with a transition and with a conjunctive adverb, we can use period, however, or period, moreover. These are acceptable. Rest in peace spelling. These are acceptable. So let me zoom in again. All right. Oh, I can keep the board? What? Oh, that's so cool. New features بقى upgrades. So like we said احنا اتكلمنا كتير قوي عن الموضوع ده. So انا ممكن احط period بالtransition or بالconjunctive adverb. No big deal there. Now في فرق بسيط قوي ما بين period والsemicolon. وحظكم وحش لو جه السؤال هيطلب منكم يا السيميكولون يا period. And this is the tricky part, right? So ده جه مثلا مرتين في الامتحان. Right. جه مرة في SAT, جه مرة في EST, وجه مرة في AC, مرتين في ACT, right? That there's a very small difference between the semicolon and period, right? So عشان في trick كده بنقولها لو عندك في إجابة A period وعندك في إجابة B semicolon وعندك في إجابة C comma fanboys احنا بنقول الثلاثة دولت غلط عشان هم زي بعض بيكنسلوا بعض, right? However عشان بس علم ومن ناحيه العلم ومن ناحيه نتاكد احنا فاهمين الرولز. A semicolon connects two similar ideas. ده الفرق ما بين السيميكولون period. A period separates two different ideas. So a semicolon connects the ideas, a period separates ideas. Now, we're not going to get too into detail about this. عشان it's not something we need. ده مش هيبقى make or break. ده مش هيفرق معاك من 700 ل 800 or 30 to 36. مش هيفرق معاك في ده. You know, بس again لو جه السؤال ما نستغربش. So for example here, yesterday I began my diet, right? Semicolon زي ما شايفين كده semicolon الجميلة ديت. Right. However, comma, I felt a moment of weakness and ate a greasy burger. These are similar ideas. But in period, yesterday I began my diet. Later, I went to work feeling drained. شايفين الفرق ما بين الاثنين دول؟ أول example بيكلمني عن الدايت وبتاكل إيه؟ تاني example idea 1 مختلف عن idea 2. idea 1 بيكلمني عن أكل، idea 2 بيكلمني عن شغل. So there is a difference between the two. However, 99% of the time وعايزين نركز على 99% ده السيميكولون بنقول هو زي period, right? We don't see too much of a difference. Now, incorrect period usage. شبه السيميكولون. Number 1 in period fragments. Don't use a period to separate independent from a dependent clause. احنا قلنا البيريود ده is for two independent ideas. فلو انا عايز اشوف البيريود ده صح ولا غلط بنعمل ايه؟ We check how many independent ideas. لو عندي one مش هحط period. هوريكم example. Right. Let me bust out my highlighter. ايه رايكم في highlighter ده الجديد؟ So that independent idea, right? Hippolyte, blank card, yada yada yada, كلام كتير قوي، كلام. Okay, the independent بالأصفر. Now look back بالأخضر. An international event showcasing new innovations, geographic and scientific discoveries, and the work of art, right? شايفين here in this example, in period هنا ده غلط. Why? الأصفر independent, الأخضر dependent. مفيش verb. So don't be tricked, صح? Don't play yourself. And if you're watching the video, أنا عارف لازم أحط شعري. Sorry about that. Number 2, not every subject and verb indicates an independent idea. لازم يبقى independent. صح؟ يعني subject, verb, complete. طيب ليه بنقول كده؟ Look at this example. The discovery of HIV vaccine, period, scientists say. شايفين ده subject to verb? Right? بس ده مش جملة. ده مش جملة. Scientists say will improve the world 10 times over. ده غلط عشان دلوقتي السبجكت بتاعتي اساسا في الجملة the discovery. والدiscovery ده عم بيعمل ايه؟ The discovery will improve. So be very careful. مش أي حاجة بتشوفوها subject to verb ده ال subject to verb بتاع الجملة ده ال main idea أو ال independent idea. Be very careful. مش نحفظ وخلاص نقعد نرزع في إجابات. Right? When we choose answers في method بنستخدمها بنمشي على خطوات واحدة واحدة. And finally عامة don't use period fanboys عامة. Right? بيبقى غلط. لو بتتفرجوا على الفيديو خشوا على practice. You can learn anything. Just say it out. Bye. Bye.